Welcome to another Dre Golf's video. This is my first match on the channel. We decided to do this in winter. It's about 0 degrees, it's cold. I think these kind of conditions are great for match play because a lot of different things can happen. And as you'll see, this is probably one of the best matches I've played in a year. Lots of cool stuff happens, so stay tuned and hopefully you get through the whole thing. First hole downhill, just trying to hit something pretty straight. Any kind of curve on the ball with this much wind, it's gone. You got OB left. Trying to hit a little cutter up the left side. It kind of miraculously stays pretty straight, but safe inbounds, just goes nowhere. You kind of see a reaction after I hit this.
It went like 180 yards. I'll take it. You're in play.
Eliot's up next. Hits a beautiful rope. I'm going to keep the commentary kind of to a minimum today because I think the golf is pretty good. But I'll just kind of walk you through some of the thoughts and what kind of shots we had to hit in certain areas. So Eliot here on his second shot, he's probably got 145 flag. I think he's hitting probably his 170 club. Hits a absolute rope. I was watching this. I thought it might go in. It just ended up short, but it was an amazing shot. Probably only about 13, 14 feet for birdie there. I've only got 135 yards. I'm hitting a 160 club, and I don't know what happened here. It's kind of fluffed it out to the right and into a pretty bad spot, but it is match play. I'm trying at this point not to just give the hole away by doing something too cute. So my thought process here is get this on the green. The green runs away, hit a flop shot. This is a good one. From there, again, match play, I don't have to worry about the next putt here because I'm almost mentally giving him the par and kind of steal one or save myself one there. Eliot's birdie putt downhill. This is actually quite quick. You'll see this rolls away into kind of the extra meat on the bone range, but I'm giving them this one just to kind of keep the match going, but also to kind of build up a little bit of karma in the bank, and that will actually come into play later, as you will see.
I understand. Set the karma early so that it goes both ways.
So after the 2 club wind into on the last hole, we have a 2 club wind down. Mistakes most people make, and I did it here, is sometimes a really big downwind actually knocks your ball out of the air. So I'm hitting a 130 club on a 150 hole. I do get to the green, but it is quite a bit short. Eliot hits an absolute laser at it, and it just catches the ridge. It's going to be hard to see on the video, but this pin is on a tabletop, probably about, let's say, 8 yards by 8 yards. Everything else falls away in all directions. Here, I'm super focused on not leaving it short, and sometimes when you do that, you end up doing what I just did and locking it by about 7 feet. So Eliot still has a kind of tricky one. This is a lot more uphill than it looks, and he does the opposite and leaves it short about 6 or 7 feet. So kind of a grindy situation here. But the focus is up. I think we're both in this match. We both want to win. So, and Eliot right after me knocks it in. So good pars there after bad first putts, even through 2.
Now we want to leave ourselves for pars.
Hole 3, the real big misses, OB left. Tons of room on the right, but there is a bunker there. The sand today is so hard and wet, so I wasn't even worried if I went in there, and of course I went right into that, but not a bad spot. The further right you go, the better chance you have of getting it close. Eliot takes us up the left side, absolutely nukes it. The left is okay, but you're not going to be able to stop it on the green out of the rough from that angle. It all runs left to right, and he gets a crazy bounce, and you'll see where his ball ended up. Probably bounced about 90 yards right into a perfect spot. So here I'm trying to aim way left. Just clear this bunker that you might not be able to see. Maybe get on the front yardage of the green and roll up. And I'm getting a little cute here because Eliot's in such a good spot. He's probably 7 yards out. I had about 130, but I was playing about a 170, a little punch shot. And so Eliot here about 70 yards, I believe. Into a huge wind, though. It's really hard to gauge the distance. So the cuteness kind of gets to me. I missed this by probably 2 yards. That would have been awesome, but the only way to get this one close is to flop it on the left, have it stop, roll on the fringe, a butterfly lands on it, takes a small poop, and it slowly starts. It's impossible. So I was just I'm pretty happy with this. It's over the green and the fringe. Great spot. Eliot has this putt. You'll see this green. It's pretty nuts. He only has maybe 25 feet. They're trying to mute this green, apparently, the architects, because it's a bit too crazy, but it is what it is. I'd make my second miracle par in 3 holes, just hammer this. Just off the fall line, so it just leaks a bit, but not a bad bogey after getting a big cute on my second. Now Eliot here to take a 1-up lead and super steely and knocks it right in the center. The first leads in matches are usually big, just kind of gives you a little momentum. And now heading into the 4th hole, which is historically a tough one. It's a good spot to be. As you can see, this is a pretty tight hole. Eliot mishits this a bit, but I mean his swing is pretty tight and spot on today, so his misses are not going out too far. I've been hitting a little low tee cuts all day, and this time I go to the left side tee and try to hit a long drive shot for some reason and bonk it off of those right trees. Have to hit a provisional here, and you know, what do you think is going to happen? This is the auto correct. Yeah, okay. So essentially I put that in the left side. I did play out the hole, but I conceded the hole to Eliot, and let's just see him finish it out. He hit an absolute monster shot here over the back. This is one of the only putts I will say, if you put 10 golfers on it, more people would 4-putt than 2-putt. Either way, it didn't matter. I was out, so Eliot takes a 2-up lead, and that's a pretty big stranglehold with only 5 holes to go. I was pretty surprised that Eliot pulled driver here. This one, you either have to hug the left side or hit a draw, or you know, you're really flirting with those trees on the right. This does go right, kind of first loose swing of the day here, and it bonked a tree, and so you really don't know where it is. Sometimes it's okay. I was always going to hit 3-iron regardless here. Just hit a little draw. This was a good one. Just safe. Doesn't really bring any trouble into play. Eliot is actually not in a terrible spot. He has a backswing. You can get a lot worse than this, and there's a window. It just kind of gets a little high, but does job A, gets it past everything, and has about 75 yards. Like I'm in the driver's seat on this hole. I have 150 yards. This is a little bit of a funky lie, so I'm protecting the left shot here. I got this to about 15 feet, feeling good. Little do I know that Eliot's favorite yardage is 75 yards, and he hits a beauty here, puts it to 3.5 feet, and really kind of turns the hole on its head. I was thinking par would be good. Now with Eliot marked there about 4 feet away, I feel like I need birdie, and this is kind of a cardinal sin in match play. I slammed this, and the worst 4 words, "you are still away," just came up there, so not great, but focus on this one is huge. I'd say this is a must make where we are in the match with the amount of holes. Being 3 down with 4 to go is pretty much over, so this is as much focus as I've put in on any shot in a while. After that amazing shot from 75 yards, Eliot steps up, and he's been rock solid all day. And I'm starting to realize he's not going to give me anything, and I'm going to have to do something special to get him, because that's a great par there. And he stays 2 up with 4 to go.
Did you play break? No.
The next hole is a short par 4, and typically in match play, the swing holes are the par 5s and the short par 4s. Today, being so cold, it's a little hard to reach this one. In the summer, it's doable. Eliot hits a little bit of a miss. I thought he cracked his club face, but it's fine. I mean, he's in the middle of the fairway. He's got a flip wedge. I'm now trying to do something a little special. This scares the group ahead of us who's still in their carts on the side and kind of rolls to a spot, but we can see it. I just don't know how close to the tree it is. Applying the pressure here with another great wedge shot just under the hole. Very, very makeable birdie putt. Now, I'm in a bad spot against a tree with seeing Eliot's shot so close. I'm trying to make something happen here, but this is not a place where I can do anything too aggressive. Just getting it on the green. Pretty happy with this from where it was, but it's a long way away, and I'm 2 down, so not looking good.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
That looked good.
The door's been opened a creak and a little light has come through, but the way Eliot's been putting so far, I really think he's going to make it, but at least I'm not completely out of it and going dormy. So, you know, as you can hear him say, he has a little more pressure on this putt.
No, dead straight putt.
He hit a good putt there, just didn't break, but now it's 1 up with 3 to go, so again, there's a chance. 7th hole is a downhill short par 3 right between clubs. I took more club here, and then I got freaked out. I was going to blow it over or go left, which you don't want to do. Hit it pin high, which is always a good thing, just kind of flared it right. Eliot hit a beautiful one right on the stick, but just a little bit short. Again, very hard to judge clubs today with when you got elevation plus the wind. Same distance away, but I was on the fringe, so I went first. Not a bad putt here, just misread it and put it about, let's call that 2.5 feet. And this is where that karma bank from the first hole comes into play. I'm walking, chatting, and he ends up giving that to me. Gentleman move there. So Eliot from the same distance, but on the green, let's call it 35 feet, hits an absolute beauty. I think we all thought this was going in to basically ice the match, but that's a par, and we're going to the 8th hole, and I'm still 1 down. 8th hole is an absolute beast, 520 yards into a 2.5, 3 club winds at around 1 degree over freezing. Hit a great drive here. I mean, that's all he can do. It's not reachable today. And then Eliot also stripes this one. This had a little fear of going in the bunker, but it stayed perfectly straight. It was a great drive too. You'll see just how long this is playing.
262.
So I think Eliot says here he has 260 hitting 3-wood into a wind, and I mean he hits this super pure, and he'll end up with about I think 70 yards left. So it's a big boy today.
But can't complain.
I've got about 250, 240 flag. I'm trying to hit this low, and I do. I hit a pretty good one. Not super pure, but lower. Still goes nowhere. Probably hit that about 200 yards, which is insane. Eliot here about 75 yards. Front flag, green sloping back to front. Hits a really good one. I knew it was a little past the flag, so it wasn't, you know, it's a little bit of a tricky putt, but definitely birdie range. I mean, I'm 1 down, 2 to go. Here we say I have real no choice. I have to birdie this hole. Not the best part of my game. Got an uphill wet lie, 50 yards, and a front flag. I do pull it off, though, and put this flag high to 4.5 feet and give myself some life. Eliot's got this, let's call it about a 12-footer with a decent amount of break, and it's fast, so you got to be a little careful here. He is 1 up. He doesn't need to do anything crazy and knock it 7 feet by, but if he does knock this in, it pretty much seals the deal.
Oh, Eliot.
Oh,
give it the right pace, and that's in.
That was a great putt, though.
Thanks.
This is to win the hole and to go even going to the last.
Great putt, great birdie. All right, last one matters a lot now.
It got kind of interesting, yeah.
After a pretty funny chat about what we're going to do if we end up tying this hole, we finally start hitting our tee shots. 18's pretty straightforward, but again, into the wind. We got a back flag with a very tight little finger that if you miss it on either side, it's a pretty tough up and down, so anything can happen. Hit a good little cut there, not screwing around, just hitting cuts all day now, low tee cuts. And then Eliot right beside me, great shots, so no issues there. Eliot's got, I think, about 120, just under 120 here into a pretty strong wind, but and that flag is in a tight little spot, and he hits this right on it. Like, it looked super good in the air. I didn't know how close that was, but I knew it was good. I have about 106 here, just hitting a little punchy gap wedge. The lie gets me. This actually looked like it went over, but it ended up okay, pin high. So Its mark is there on the right about 8 feet. I'm thinking I have to make this hit a great putt. It just stays out, but not upset. Pretty happy with that effort. Now, Eliot has a fairly straight putt. The issue with winter golf is you never know what the greens are going to do, and he hits an awesome putt here. Just hung on the lip, so both of us having chances there, but Eliot breathing some new life. And after a really quick discussion, we decide we're going to playoff hole, and we sneak on to number one. We're trying to do this quickly so the pro shop doesn't see us and just try to get out there, so not taking too much time on this tee shot. Not doing anything fancy here, low tee, hit cut, just do that from now on, basically. Got a little bit to the right, but we knew it was safe, so decent shot, but nothing spectacular there. Eliot, around the same line as mine, is just a little further right, so we knew we'd find it, just didn't know what situation it would be in.
Yeah, very, very close.
So Eliot did in fact hit his just under a tree. He had to punch out, so now I'm in the situation of I'm trying to, not do anything nuts here. I'm ahead. I have 204 yards to the back. I have to hit a monster cut. Hitting a little less club in case I snook it. So hitting 6-iron. Hard to cut it with this much downwind. Put in the bunker, but not upset with that shot at all. And I have a little bit of advantage. So Eliot's here now hitting his third shot after pitching out. Just surveying it. He had 197, again downwind. I'm just going to shut up and let you guys watch this because this is something pretty special. Eliot just throws it in there to about 4 feet. I have this long bunker shot. Not something I practice. Hitting here a gap wedge, just chunk and run. A lot of green to work with. And this is probably the best shot of my day after the best shot of Eliot's day. So kind of back and forth. You got to love golf. I look like I'm ahead. Then he looked like he's ahead. And now I'm right there. You can see my ball. You can see where he ended up from 197. Absolutely amazing. And he just gives me this one again. Gentleman move. Leave it down to the last putt to decide the match. Or
what do you have out there,
match.
200?
Yeah, 197.
197 out of the rough. It's right there to have the hole. Extend the match.
It's a straight putt again.
Oh my gosh.